Good morning everyone, here from China, a new country for us. Right now we're here in the capital, Beijing. We got here last night and always wanted to come to China, really curious about how it is. We only usually see like the political aspect in the news, not really how the day-to-day life is or even how it is for travel really. And right now we're in front of Tiananmen Square, the famous square. So that's the gateway. We're going to be going there tomorrow though. And behind there is the Forbidden City. So we have tickets for there tomorrow. And first we're going to be exploring around here. This is called Tiananmen Street, one of the famous old shopping streets. So we're going to be walking around here, try out some of the Chinese food. Hasn't been completely smooth navigating around so far.
No, we came from Japan, which it wasn't the easiest place to travel to in terms of language and language barrier issue. But I think here it's even harder for that. But we're still trying to understand how everything works. And I think the main problem is that they don't use the same app that we use in the Western world.
They're all completely different.
Yeah, they're all different. So we're learning about everything.
So already right at the beginning of the street, it looks pretty cool. The artwork, looking forward to seeing the Chinese architecture everywhere. This is like the old Beijing. We usually prefer the old parts. The hotel that we're staying at is more in the modern area. Big modern buildings everywhere. Yeah, I think I saw this shot in the photos. Like this other gateway here with the awesome building in the background. So this is a walking street, I think. No cars whatsoever. So we actually got a visa on arrival that you can get, which is for 144 hours, which only starts at midnight from when you arrive, like after you arrive at midnight. And you can get that at the majority of the major cities in China, but you have to stay within the city. So we got to stay within Beijing during that time. But on this trip we are also gonna visit Macau and Shanghai. So basically the 144-hour thing doesn't apply for Macau. They have a different system, so we're gonna go there, and then once we go back into Shanghai we'll do the 144-hour visa thing again over there. So they got like the trams to get around. Didn't know they had those here on this street. So here we got one of the roast duck restaurants, which is famous here, the Peking duck. I would always order that at Chinese restaurants, so I think we'll be trying that out soon. Pretty cool looking restaurant too. One thing that's surprising me so far is there's basically zero foreigners whatsoever. We just came from Japan, which was like foreigners everywhere. I think I've seen like 2 or 3 so far, and that's it. It is literally just like almost 100% Chinese. We'll go down one of the side streets now. There's supposed to also be some cool alleyways that they call Hutongs. So this area is over like 500 years old, I think. They even use the traditional clothing here, like we saw in Japan. Also, we get stared at quite a lot here, I've already noticed that.
Yeah, I think especially me with my curly hair, I think they like it.
Yeah, we've already spotted people taking pictures of us too. I think that is actually quite common throughout China, that they might ask to take pictures of you, or they might just take pictures of you without asking, like we just saw before. So one thing that you're probably wondering about are the internet restrictions here in China. So basically all the sites that we normally access on a daily basis, like Facebook, Google Search, Google Maps, Instagram, and YouTube, which we need to access for our jobs, are all banned here in China.
And the way that we're able to bypass this here is with Surfshark VPN, which we've been using for the past 4 years, and they are sponsoring this video.
We have mainly been using Surfshark to keep our personal information and data safe from potential hackers on any network that we connect to throughout the world, and also to be able to have access to all of the Netflix libraries as the film and series availability changes depending on the country that we are in.
But here Surfshark has been even more essential as it still allows us to access all the websites that are blocked in this country. We can simply connect to a different location and then the restrictions are all gone.
With just one single Surfshark subscription, you can connect to unlimited devices for your entire household. Click on the link in the video description, which has the discount code Jumping Places to get 4 months for free, and that also includes a 30-day money-back guarantee policy. So this looks cool. Looks like a mini indoor market.
Hi, Chess. Hello.
Hello, ni hao. The only word I know, ni hao. Yeah, it looks like it's mainly souvenirs. Carol also had somebody start grabbing her hair.
She was saying something in Chinese, but I think she was happy.
Yeah, she was smiling anyway. Don't know what she was saying. Yeah, you definitely can't go wrong for street food here. Seems to be like dried fruit. Don't know actually. Hard to tell what it is. Lots of different kind of sweets. Even got live little scorpions. I think you can eat them. Never seen that before though. Over here. These ones are dead. That's like a centipede, I think. Big scorpion. Some bugs. Yeah, I'm not really in the mood for that right now though. So we've come to that first restaurant that I pointed out earlier. It's really fancy in here. Turns out that it's the oldest and most famous roasted duck place in Beijing since 1864. So I got the half order roasted duck, 158, and that's with the pancakes. And Carol got some sort of fish stew. What is that?
This boiled fish with some sauce.
There's some yellow sauce, peppers in there.
It's bigger than I imagined.
Yeah, it is big. That was 128. So this is exactly how it would be when I would order in other countries. Make the little pancake here. Don't know if this is how you're supposed to do it. Usually this sauce is the tastiest part of the dish. Get some of this in there too. So I don't know if this is how you're supposed to eat it, like a wrap, like a taco or something. Yeah, it's like exactly the same as when I ate it in like England, Portugal as well. Had this roasted duck. Yeah, the sauce is definitely the best though. So they just brought this big bowl of soup that we didn't even know was included. Seems to be like some mild veggie soup. I just had a taste. Not exactly sure what it is though. A new taste. How's the fish?
Very spicy.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, it's like burning everything.
Could have guessed that with all the peppers.
It's good, but super spicy.
So over here in China, one of the main ways to pay for things is with an app called Alipay, which we downloaded before we came here. And then you basically just have to register your credit card, and then you can pay for things by scanning a barcode. So we've already used it a few times here and it worked, but at that restaurant it wouldn't work at all. It kept saying that the environment wasn't secure. I don't know why. We tried 3 times, so we just ended up paying with cash instead. So keep in mind that that can probably happen. Best to have a bit of cash.
Yeah, we need to go to an ATM to get more cash.
Wow, what is that? Some ice cold drink. Yeah, I suppose it's a bit like Japan where all the foods are so strange to us. So I think we're just going to go on a bit more of a walk around. It is just basically all food places though. Pretty much all the stores are just food places. So I did read online that some of the buildings and roads here are reconstructions. This one looks pretty new. Still looks awesome though, the wooden parts. This little doorway at the end looks cool too. So it is the next day and we're here at the Tiananmen Square. Just a massive queue to get in. I think this is just for the security checkpoint. We did read that there'd be crazy queues.
Yeah, but people said that the queues are fast, so I'm hoping that it won't take long to enter.
So we bought tickets just for the Forbidden City, but that gives you access to Tiananmen Square too. And I think you've got to actually go through the square to enter the Forbidden City. Anyway, seems like it. And I think you paid 80 yuan per person.
60.
60?
Yeah, but it was not an easy thing to do, to purchase the tickets, because it sells out really fast. So I had to buy it in the exact time that they opened the slots to sell the tickets, and I think that was at 8 p.m.
Local time.
Chinese time, and I bought it like a week before, 7 days before. And yeah, I was able to buy it because I did it really fast, but then 10 minutes later, like 8:10 p.m., it was already sold out for the day that we wanted to.
So we're officially in the Tiananmen Square now. Back behind me there you have the monument to the people's heroes. I guess that's something related to the war. And then on this side where you see everyone going is the mausoleum of the former leader Mao Zedong. So he was the founder of the People's Republic of China that had been ruling ever since the Civil War. And that is the war where the Republic of China fled to the island of what is now Taiwan and established Taiwan. So we actually were in Taiwan last year, and in the capital over there, Taipei, they have a kind of big square similar to this, and that one also has a mausoleum of the leader of the ROC at the time, so the opposition of Mao Zedong. And I think in October the 1st of 1949 was when he announced the foundation of the People's Republic of China right in this square. So every year on that date there's like some sort of special event here. Outside of China though, I think that this square is more famous because of the massacre that happened here in the 80s, which was like a government crackdown on protests, which I think many people died. They don't know how many people died though. I actually don't know too much information about it. I just remember that photo of the guy stood in front of the tank that we're always shown. That's about it really. And I think the main entrance to the Forbidden City is over there. Got to cross this big highway road somewhere. Where do we cross?
I think there's like a tunnel over there.
Yeah, there must be. I don't see any crossings over here on top of the land. That's the picture of Mao Zedong, isn't it?
Yeah, that's him.
So from what I read, the main gate there is actually called Tiananmen. So that is why the square back there has that name. It's named after the main gate. Also known as the Gate of Heavenly Peace. Once again though, there's just barely any foreigners at all. I think for every 1,000 Chinese people that we see one foreigner. I really thought there'd be many here since it's the capital. just to give you an idea how big this place is, we're just here at the beginning and we gotta go through all of this. Absolutely massive. So this place was built in the early 1400s and was the residence of the emperors during the Ming and Qing dynasties until 1925, I believe. And it's called the Forbidden City because for around 500 years only the royal family and specific government officials could enter here, no one from the public, so it was literally forbidden. And then around 1925 it opened as a museum, just like you're seeing now. Chaos.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, so we've been in yet another queue for like over 30 minutes. I don't even think we're in the official complex yet. The main ticket office is here right now. Alright, so we're finally inside. It's almost 12 o'clock now, so I think we've been here like 2 hours and we've only just entered the main part. So if you come in here, expect to spend a lot of time in queues. I think right now it's going to be more chilled out though. It's a really big area inside. Pretty awesome square. The amount of big tour groups though is really intense. Like all these groups you're seeing here, they're just in tours together. Some of the groups look like they have around 40 to 50 people. Massive groups. So how many people did you see that can come here each day?
I'm not sure if it was 40,000 people or 50,000 people, but each way is just a lot of people.
Yeah, so every day since it maxes out, you'll always have that amount of people here. Look at the size of this sculpture. Awesome. Don't know what that is, like a lion or a dragon. I've always loved the Chinese architecture though. We've seen it before in Vietnam. A lot of the places that we went in Vietnam were during the time that China ruled there, the Chinese dynasties. And also in Taiwan. It's very similar history. So through this way we've got all these different halls, palaces, Palace of Heavenly Purity, Hall of Union. I think that's the main one, Hall of Supreme Harmony. That's in the middle. Wow, look at this though. Each doorway you go through, it's just some massive, epic square. It really is gigantic.
So we rented one audio guide in English, but they had like almost all the other languages. And this was 40 yuan.
Yuans.
Just for one. We didn't need to.
So to give you more of an idea of how gigantic this Forbidden City is, there's supposed to be almost 9,000 buildings here. So even though we're walking through the central area, even behind there on the sides, there's many little buildings. So behind this wall too. I don't know if we'll be able to look on that side at some point. I don't see any openings here. The doors are all closed. So this is the Hall of Supreme Harmony. This is the biggest and most important one in the Forbidden City. And this complex is supposed to have the largest collection of ancient wooden structures in the world. So this will be one of them. So even if you don't get the audio guide, they're pretty good with the signs. The majority of the buildings have these signs explaining what it is. Hall of the Middle Harmony. So it said that this was constructed in 1420. Another really beautiful building. And another one. And there'll be others. So we've come through yet another doorway. And I don't know if you can see in the distance, there's a hill back there. So that's a park that we're gonna go to later on. Supposed to get some amazing views of the Forbidden City from there. That's what we'll be doing after this. So we ended up just visiting a clock museum inside of here, which we had paid for before. We paid 10 extra for that. That's why I thought we paid 80. So it was 60 to enter, but we paid 10 for that museum and 10 for another one.
Yeah, another exhibition that we're going now. And I didn't know what they were, but at the time that since I was trying to like buy everything as quick as possible, I just bought all the things that they had, and then since it wasn't so expensive. But it was cool, the clock museum thing. It was nice, and also it was good to avoid the sun for a little bit because it's very hot today.
Yeah, so they had clocks from Europe, a lot of British clocks. I don't know if they were brought here as like gifts or presents. And then there were also clocks from China, made in China later on. Really impressive clocks though, probably some of the most beautiful clocks that we've seen. Wow, some really amazing doorways. And that's what we're going through. So it says that the collections are the legacy of the Qing court. I guess the Qing dynasty that I mentioned at the beginning. Displays around 400 pieces of artifacts from the Palace Museum collection. So we just got some drinks. I got a Coca-Cola. I thought it was China's version, but it actually has the Coca-Cola there, so yeah, it's just different writing, that's all. Got the dragon. Carol got a tea.
Cha.
Cha. Yeah, it's funny, yesterday we went to a restaurant and we searched the translation online and we saw that it was C-H-A, cha. Like in Portuguese, it's sha.
Cha, yeah.
Yeah, 'cause I think all the tea words in the world actually originated in China. So we said cha and then we got a fork instead of tea. And then we searched online and we saw that fork is also C-H-A, but pronounced differently.
Yeah, but what are the chances of just the two words being so similar
in a
us?
restaurant?
Yeah, in a restaurant, and they probably thought, oh, the foreigners don't know how to eat with chopsticks, so they gave us a fork, but we wanted a tea.
Yeah, so then I had to show him the actual word on the app and we got tea instead. So speaking of dragons on the Coca-Cola can, check out these dragons on the wall. So we've seen loads of different paintings of dragons in this complex, but this is the best so far. That looks like a sea dragon in the ocean. Yeah, so if you want a bit of peace and quiet around here, pay a bit extra to come in these other galleries, because not everyone's coming in these places. Way more laid back. Alright, that's like a baby one. Don't know if they're playing or fighting. So you can basically film and take pictures of absolutely everything in here, even in the museums. I know in some countries in museums they don't let you take pictures of everything, but so far seems like nothing's off limits. So this part here is a opera theatre. from the 1700s. So it's not open, but this would be where the emperor would have sat to watch the show. Head on. So this is gonna be our last stop in the Forbidden City, the beautiful Imperial Garden. Nice little arch. Oh, look at what they've done with all the rocks. No climbing. So this place is pretty much right at the exit. And I think now we'll get a bite to eat and go to that park and the viewpoint. Not even sure if there's restaurants right outside. Hope there is. I think you could easily spend like 4 or 5 hours walking around though. You'd probably need that amount of time if you really wanted to see every single place, every courtyard, every building you can go to. So on the side of the exit you can see the big moat. On the other side that we entered I didn't see any moat whatsoever. I don't know if there still is one and we just didn't see it. I don't remember seeing it though. Pretty cool tower on the corner. Yeah, overall just super impressive.
Yeah, we've been to some imperial cities and like royal palaces around the world, but this was the biggest one and the most impressive one by far. It's really beautiful as well and totally worth coming. It's very crowded, but I think it's worth it.
Yeah, and like we said, if you like pay a bit extra to go to the areas on the sides, it is like quieter there, so I definitely recommend doing that too. So we found this trendy little place right next to the exit in the park. Didn't expect a place like this. Some hippie music. I think that's how you say it, Jingshan Park. Don't know if I pronounced that properly. I'm going for the braised pork rice, 40. And Carol's getting the tomato and egg noodles, 38. They even got Friends on. They watch Friends over here. It's really cool though, they have like loads of plants. It's like some nature hipster looking place. Mr. Teddy. Cool music.
Very unique place.
We got some cold green tea too. Japan got me a bit addicted to cold tea, especially good in the really warm weather. And make it better. So that took about 5 minutes for them to bring it.
Really quick.
Yeah, the portions have been really good so far in China. I think the portions are bigger than the ones in Japan.
Yeah.
Yeah, and as we're showing now, this is a more affordable option. So this was only around $5 mine. Smells great. Yeah, mine's a bit spicy. Yours too?
No.
Not this time.
Just like a tomato sauce and tomato taste.
So we're now in the park, Jingshan Park. it was 10 per person to enter. So the entry fees to the place has been pretty reasonable so far. Seems to have like a little market going on. Got some food trucks too. Pretty cool vehicle. So even inside here it still kind of looks like the Imperial Palace. It's like the same style and colour. Yeah, so the sign there says that it's like a Chinese ink art exhibition. Ink art. You got the pandas. The famous Chinese pandas. Don't think I've ever seen a panda before in real life. Yeah, this is my favourite one. Looks like the Himalayas. Maybe Tibet. Carol's looking for the Himalayas. Yeah, it's probably the Tibetan region. So these are the views that we came for. I actually thought that we were going to be higher. It looked higher from down there, but still some pretty good shots of the Forbidden City. Gives you a better idea of just how wide it is. So this morning we started all the way on the other side. So we just realized that that wasn't the highest one that we were seeing before. It's this one up here. So yeah, just a bit higher. Yeah, there's way more people at this one. This is definitely the main viewpoint. Yeah, you got a way better view though. Bit hazy today.
Yeah, not the best day for viewing everything, but still you can see how impressive the complex is. Very huge.
Yeah, yesterday it was a lot clearer, the sky. So got some more views from the back. Looks like some sort of temple complex again.
Yeah.
Or palace.
Yeah, it looks like it. I don't know.
There's also another park over there that people visit. Yeah, it really is so hazy though. I can barely make out the buildings in the distance. So after exiting, we've come across this other Hutong, the old Chinese alleyway places. Don't know if there's any stores in this one. Looks like a residential Hutong. Just where people live, I think. Even tinier alleyway here. Yeah, I don't think this is a touristy one at all, by the looks of it. And I think that's just going to somebody's house. So basically in the past, I think the majority of Beijing would have all been like this. And a lot of the Hutongs have been destroyed, obviously, to put like modern buildings, big buildings. But they still have many. I think they still have like thousands in Beijing. This part looks real cool. Yeah, I'm not sure if these buildings are like restaurants or something. Ni hao. Ni hao. So we're back at the hotel, which is called La Fortuna, and this room is around $98 a day, but that includes breakfast too. They have a really good breakfast here. It's like a buffet, and we're also in a pretty good location. So we're right near the business district. I think that's the main business district over there, the tall buildings. And below us there's many restaurants that you can eat at. Our hotel actually has a Starbucks inside too, and it's really good because on the rooftop there's a swimming pool and also a really big gym, a really good gym, so we're going to be making use of that as well. And the room is also really nice. I like the layout of it. So you got the sofa here, that's the TV. Beneath the stairs there's just some like cupboards and drawers, and kind of different because our bed's up here. You can close this, and then it is a AC room, and we also have a air purifier, which we don't always get in many places. Little desk area to do some work. Also has like a kitchen, so you can do some cooking here, but there's no like pots or pans, so yeah, I don't know if you'd have to bring that yourself. We haven't been using it anyway, we've just been eating out. And then the bathroom is through here. Nice modern bathroom. So overall, really enjoyed our first 2 days here in China. The main complications are just with the internet restrictions and also the fact that we have to get used to all their apps. But today on the second day, we're already working things out a lot better and yeah, learning how to use their apps. And I mentioned earlier in the video that we had an issue with the Alipay, but today we had no issues at all. We used it many times, scanning the QR codes, and yeah, we're able to pay every time. So yeah, I'm not sure what happened yesterday. So the apps that we've mainly been using overall are Alipay to pay for things. There's Didi China, which is like their Uber, which we've used many times to get around. And their Google Maps is like DU. If you search on their app stores, DU Maps. And the apps are very similar, so when you're using their maps, it kind of still seems like Google Maps really. And also their Uber app is kind of similar, so it's not that hard to use, but there is the language barrier also. And we've been using their translator app a lot called Baidu, B-A-I-D-U. So yeah, we've been using that a lot of the time. You'll definitely need that. Also to speak with people, we've been using that. You can do like voice recording, or they can write stuff down. So yeah, definitely get all those apps. But besides that, like walking around and exploring, there's no like big difference to any other country really. We were actually saying that we think Japan is actually way more different to what we're used to, the way they act and the way things are over there. I'd say that Japan was more of a culture shock. And in the next video we're planning on going to the wonder of the world, the Great Wall of China. So really looking forward to that. Yeah, we're going to be heading there tomorrow, doing a tour, and that's what will be coming up next. So if you like this video, just drop a like as usual to support us. Subscribe to see more videos like this. Follow us on Instagram, and we'll see you in the next one.